You are working on closing the gap between things wanted and things received. It's a trick question, so be careful. Or are you experiencing the life-giving enthusiasm that an unfulfilled, yet being fulfilled, not yet manifested, yet energy in motion, can't see the whites of his eyes yet, feel the energy of him coming, creation? In other words, are you ready to acknowledge what you felt from your non-physical perspective, that this leading edge experience in these magnificent physical bodies is a continuing, never-ending unfolding, and that there will always be, because of what you're living today, a new idea or a new improved idea or an amendment to an old idea, an improved preference or desire. So since we are all eternal beings, and there will be no ending to our ability to, from where we are, define, design, conclude, desire, prefer something more, don't you think it's time that you make peace with the incompletion of your beingness?
Yes.
The alignment process can be fun. It isn't always fun if you are looking at what you want and feeling the absence of it and beating the drum of why isn't it here yet, and what have I done wrong, and am I really unworthy, and why am I not born under the right star, and what have I done wrong in a past life, and how come my mother didn't prepare me better for this? In other words, we know that when you get into that place where you are justifying why something that you want hasn't come, that then it's not fun, because you cannot beat the drum of the absence of something that you want and feel satisfaction about it coming. In other words, that's not closing the gap, that's widening the gap. And what's this gap that we're talking about anyway? In other words, what gap? Well, it's the gap between where you are and where you want to be. That's one way of looking at it. But we want to explain it to you here today in a way that you will always remember, in a way that will resonate with the very core of you. Because we are wanting you to remember who you are, who you really are. And we're wanting you to activate your guidance so that you can not only remember intellectually who you are, but so that you can feel the vibration of who you are allowing yourself to be in relationship with who you really are. As Jerry and Esther are traveling about, they have navigational systems in their vehicles. 3 different ones now. OnStar in one vehicle, Pioneer in another, Magellan in another. But they all work on the same principle. They all work on the principle that the machine, the satellites in the sky, the antennas on the roofs, locate where you are right now. And then they program in their desired destination. So now, the navigational system has 2 things, only 2 things, that are of importance or interest. Only 2 things are relevant to this process. Where are you, and where do you want to be? So Jerry and Esther program in the desired destination, and then the navigational system prepares a route and gives it to them verbally or visually or both, and then says to them, please proceed to the highlighted route. And when they do, the navigational system is peaceful and calm. Go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way. But when Jerry and Esther, as they occasionally do, decide a different route than has been advised by the navigational system, Magellan especially kicks up quite a squawk. Please proceed to the highlighted route. Please proceed to the highlighted route. Please proceed to the highlighted route. When possible, make a legal U-turn. Because it is very clear. You're here, you say you want to go here. We've given you the best way of doing that, and when you don't do it, we'll let you know. So, you have a navigational system within you that operates on the same principle. Where are you in relationship to where you want to be? But there is another piece of this that we don't think that you are keenly aware of. And we think it is the missing piece that once you are keenly aware of it, you will once and forevermore understand your own guidance system. Finally, you are going to bring yourself into conscious awareness of the guidance that is coming forth from within you. And here's how it works. You've heard us say, if you've been listening to us for any length of time at all, that there are 3 steps to the creative process. Step 1 says, ask. Well, you may think that's easy for you. You've been asking all along. But we want to say to you it's even easier than you know, because even if you don't put words to it, even if you haven't focused it consciously in your own mind, the contrast of your life experience causes preferences to be born constantly within you. And as these preferences are born within you, they shoot out of you like vibrational rockets or rockets of request. So that is the asking, and it happens whether you know that it's happening or not. It is a consequence of living in a contrasting environment. So here you are, living contrast. And when you don't have enough money, you know you want more money. When you're dizzy, you know you want stability. When you're confused, you know you want clarity. When you don't feel good, you know you want to feel better. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. When you're rude, you want to be nicer. In other words, you're launching all of these rockets of desires constantly from every point of view that you consciously and unconsciously are moving through on your day-to-day experience. And in the moment that you conclude that you prefer something, Source goes with your new rocket and says, we agree, done. Now, we're not kidding you about this. Talk about worthiness. Are you getting the full impact of this? So Source watches you in your exposure to contrast, and when the new preference is born, Source always says, that's just right. Yes. That's step 1 and step 2. So now what we want you to hear is that in the navigational system scenario, one point of vibrational relativity has been established. Who you really are and where you want to go is one point in that navigational system. Now the other point is, where are you in relationship to it? Where are you in relationship to what you now want? So you're living not enough money. You launch rockets of desires that say, I would like more money. I would like it to flow with ease. I would like it to come consistently. I would like it to come steadily. I would like it to come in proportion to everything I'm wanting. And Source says, agreed, 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 agreed. Lining up circumstances and events. All things are in order. The heavens and the earth and the seas and all things necessary are parting. All things necessary to accommodate you are in place. Yes, 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 yes. You ask, it is given every single time. So point 1 of your vibrational relativity, remember those words, is in place. The only question is, where are you in relationship with it now? You gave birth to a new rocket, but are you complaining about not having enough money? If you are, you're not in the vicinity of your desire or of Source's agreement with your desire. You're hearing what we're getting at? You're not in agreement with your own desire. You are vibrationally out of whack. And your guidance system is saying to you, please return to the highlighted route. Please return to the highlighted route. But it's coming to you in the form of frustration, in the form of anger, in the form of fear, in the form of criticism, in the form of things that don't feel good. So what we really want you to hear is that when you are in alignment with your Source, you feel wonderful. In fact, negative emotion is what it feels like when you have introduced into your vibration contradiction. Negative emotion is you're not allowing your alignment. We call that resistance. Positive emotion is you're allowing your alignment. We call that allowing. So over time, we have come to call this gathering the art of allowing. And it simply is the art of closing the vibrational gap between where you are and where you want to be. And so that's what we're going to be talking about all day here today. We're going to talk about these 2 points of vibrational relativity. When people talk about aligning energy, we want you to understand that that's what it means. When people talk about guidance system, we want you to understand that that's what it means. You don't have to figure out what anybody else or what everybody else thinks or wants or believes or knows about a subject. You only have to close the gap in your own vibration. Now remember, you are Source energy. You are wise beings. You are powerful creators who are all of that funneled into this physical body. And you chose from all of that wisdom this specific time-space reality and the specifics of where you were born and what you were born into, because you understood that it would be a well-stocked kitchen from which you could extract any ingredients that you thought would make a pie that would be meaningful to you. You did not say, I'll go forth and control the pie making on the planet. You did not say, I'll go forth and make the best pie ever, and then over a period of time convince everybody else that their pie is inappropriate. You did not say, I'll go forth and make a really good pie, and once I'm sure I've got the best pie of all, I'll document it, I'll put it on a recipe card, and then I will systematically destroy all other ingredients. You just go to the kitchen, take from the shelves what you've learned makes the best tasting pie, make a really good pie, and enjoy it. And leave everybody else to make the pie of their choosing. But sometimes we hear you say, Abraham, there's stuff in that kitchen that I don't want in my pie. And we say, we know, don't put it in your pie. And you say, but it's in the kitchen. Some of it might get in my pie. And we say, none of it can get in your pie unless you put it in your pie. And you say, but others are putting those terrible things in their pies. And we say, we know, but no one could put anything in your pie but you. And you say, but what if some of it gets in my pie? What if something goes terribly wrong and some of it somehow gets in my pie? I would feel ever so much better if we could just remove these things from the kitchen so that there could be no possibility that any of it would get in my pie. And we say, none of it can get in your pie unless you put it in your pie. And then you say, some of it got in my pie. And we say, but you were the one who put it in your pie. And you said, I didn't put it in my pie. I was nowhere near that stuff. How did it get in my pie? Somebody put it in my pie. I know they did. It's in my pie. I don't want it in my pie. You put it in your pie. Well, how is it that it got in my pie? I did not put it in my pie. Your attention to wanted or unwanted things puts it in your pie. I know, Abraham, but it would be so much easier for those unwanted things if they just were nowhere where I could see them. Because if I couldn't see them, then I wouldn't think about them, and if I'm not thinking about them, then they wouldn't end up in my pie, right? Right. If you don't think about them, if you don't push against them, they won't end up in your pie. All right, then we're agreed, you say. We will eradicate from the kitchen all things that I don't want in my pie. And we say, you're not the only pie maker. You get to choose for your pie, but you don't get to choose for everybody else's. You have free will to extract from the kitchen what you want to put in your pie. And you were born with a guidance system that lets you know what you want in your pie and what you're doing about it. Your life experience has helped you to conclude your pie. Vibrational escrow is full of all of the things you want. All of the things you want are shooting from you like rockets and are being held for you in vibrational escrow. With your encoding, with your vibrational encoding, they are yours. No one else can come and snatch them away. Everything that your life experience has caused you to want is there waiting for you. But you've got to close the vibrational gap. And we notice that one of the things that hinders you more than all other things put together about closing the vibrational gap is you're worried about what this guy's putting in his pie and that guy and that guy. So as a result, you're living what we would call a very conditional love life, where what you say is, I would feel better if those conditions were changed. And we say, we can imagine that you might feel better if those conditions were changed, but you don't have the right or the ability or the power. You're not ever going to be able to change all of those conditions that you think need to be changed so that you can feel better. You've got to go about it in another way. You've got to find a way of feeling better regardless of the conditions that are out there. And the key to it is focusing. The key to it is proceeding to your highlighted route. The key to it is keeping your nose in your own pie. The key to it is wanting so much to feel good that you are reaching for thoughts that hold you in vibrational track with that which does feel good. And as you begin to feel your way into your creations, you will then be practicing the art of allowing. The art of allowing all of the wonder and all of the abundance and all of the magnificence and all of the money and all of the friendships and all of the feelings of fulfillment, all of the things, all of the material objects, all of the relationships, all of the things that your contrasting experience have caused you to identify that you personally, specifically, in genius manner, have come to an awareness that you prefer. We want you to understand that Source is with you. Source is aware of you, agreeing with you, and eager to participate with you. Now, sometimes you say, this is worrisome, Abraham, because when you say to me that all I need to do is follow the thoughts that feel good to me, I worry about what other people might be doing. What if other people are intending to do bad things? Are you saying that Source will help them do bad things?